This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Good morning, everyone. I'm your host, Cassie Soto, here inside of the Las Vegas Review-Journal studios. Joining me today is sports writer for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Sam Gordon. We are here as we wait to hear from the new UNLV men's basketball head coach, Kevin Kruger. Sam, your thoughts on this hire that happened fairly quickly?
Fairly quickly, Cassie. I know Athletic Director DESIREE REED-FRANCOIS wanted to move rather quickly as to give the players a fair opportunity to evaluate their futures, and I know she also wanted to establish some sense of continuity. I think one of the things that's plagued this program for so long is the constant turnover, right? 14 coaches since 1992, 6 now in the last 10 years. So Kevin Kruger, being that he was on the staff the last couple of years under TJ Otzelberger, provides the program with some semblance of stability, eliminating the intense turnover, at least for the time being.
Yeah, and again, we are waiting to hear from Kevin Kruger here. His press conference, his introductory press conference, should be happening any minute. Sam, how much pressure do you think, with the last name Kruger, do you think Kevin feels to have some success here as the head coach now?
Well, I definitely think there's some pressure, Cassie. I definitely think there's some pressure, given that this is a historically great program that has struggled for quite some time now. And I think there is this is a basketball town. I don't think there's any secret about that. And there is the sense I get, just the pulse of the city, is this program, the city wants this program to be good. The city wants this program to have life, and it hasn't had that for a long time. And, you know, it's interesting because the last time the program really did have some life is when Kevin Kruger was a point guard and playing for his dad, taking the team to the Sweet 16. So definitely a little bit of pressure, but I think there's also got to be some reasonable expectations too. I don't think this is necessarily a super quick turnaround. It's going to be a process here as he kind of institutes what he wants to do at UNLV.
Well, as an athletic director, DESIREE REED-FRANCOIS has said time and time again that this is a win-now program. What does that mean exactly? Because the football team, we know the football team has had some struggles. Now they have lost their head coach just after 2 seasons. What does win now mean?
Yeah, good question. I think it means be competitive. At first, it starts in the Mountain West, right? Mm-hmm. And this is a team that was finished in 7th place in the Mountain West this past year and was out of there in the second round of the conference tournament. So before we can talk about NCAA tournaments or any kind of runs, I know that's what the fans want, and I know that's what the history dictates that this program is capable of. But I think win now starts with having a competitive team in the Mountain West, getting back to the top of the conference, getting back to relevancy in the conference, and then building it out from there. After that, then some NCAA tournament success, then some deep runs. I don't think it's a quick turnaround. I think this is going to take some time. I think it's going to take precision. I think it's going to take care. Yeah. And Kevin Kruger has his work cut out for him. I mean, this is a program that hasn't had any success in quite some time. He knows what it takes to have success with this program because he did have it as a player. Now it's time to see what he can do as a head coach.
How often, Sam, do we see really good players or fairly decent players become even better head coaches?
Oh, I mean, it happens. I think it certainly happens. I don't know how often.
How many Steve Nashes are there out there? Is what I'm asking.
I think it's not uncommon to see players become coaches. I mean, we see it at all levels of sports, with basketball, football, you name it. It just kind of depends. You have the Steve Nashes, the Steve Kerrs of the world, who has 3 championships with the Golden State Warriors. You have great college coaches that used to play, and then you have guys that didn't necessarily play at a high level that are also successful coaches. So I don't think there's necessarily a correlation between being a great player and being a great coach. I think it's all about the individual and what they bring to the table.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, we are waiting to hear from UNLV's new head coach, new men's basketball head coach, Kevin Kruger. They are working on their end to get this going. Sam, how much better is UNLV? How much better is the Mountain West when UNLV is good?
It's way better. I mean, I think it's way more interesting. This was the program in the Mountain West, and in whatever the conference they were in before that, the Western
WAC.
The
Western
WAC.
Athletic Conference.
Yeah, the WAC.
Sam, sorry to cut you off here, but I think we are getting sound now from the UNLV press conference. We're going to go ahead and toss to it. We'll come back after we hear from Kevin Kruger.
All right, so we're ready to go? Yes. Okay.
Not really.
All right, so from the beginning, we sought a coach of character who had demonstrated true caring for student athletes. We sought a coach who understood basketball at the highest levels and who could lead our team to conference titles and deep runs in the NCAA tournament. We sought a coach who could recruit young men of high character and academic dreams. We sought a coach who is a determined leader to build on our foundation. And we sought a coach who believed in culture, shared our university values, and who would make Las Vegas a long-term coach. We found that coach. Having watched Kevin Kruger up close for the last 2 years, I am confident he embodies what we need right now for running that Rebel basketball. He cares about our student athletes. He wants to help them achieve their hopes and their dreams. His integrity, self-awareness, steady and consistent leadership, character, and determination, coupled with the love for this university, this city, this state, is unparalleled. He has been preparing for this job his entire life, and he absolutely will win the right way. Since this is his day, I won't take time to go through his resume as a player and as a coach. And many in our community already know Kevin. They know his story very well. Kevin is what we need, and we are fortunate that he is ours. Please join me in welcoming the head coach of UNLV Runnin Rebels, Kevin Kruger.
He has been preparing for this job his entire life, and he absolutely will win the right way. Since this is his day, I won't take time to go through his resume as a player and as a coach. And many in our community already know Kevin. They know his story very well. Kevin is what we need, and we are fortunate that he is ours. Please join me in welcoming the head coach of UNLV Runnin Rebels.
I don't know if I can say the words how thankful we are. We need UNLV program going forward. Also, Mom, Dad, and really thank you for pushing me.
Please join me.
How appreciative I am, how excited I am that going forward we all get together as a family. Lastly, Ali, Tammy, I love you both. Ali, we'll never stay here or person, my wife Ali, that you'll get to know throughout our time here going forward, and little Tammy, about 1.5. I'm excited to be running around Thomas and Backman and all, running to guys, pushing supporters, and really bringing my entire life program going forward.
Thankful I am to you guys. How appreciative I am. I am going to get to as a family. Lastly, Ali, Sammy, Ali, you'll never meet a happier, a people person, similar like Ali, you get to know here going forward, and little Cam, I'm excited to see you around the call, to you guys. On the personal side, I've been just excited and to go forward since probably the summer of 2006. I've been came up to play as a Runnin Rebel for this historic and storied program at UNLV. And going forward with that same mentality, that same approach, the same chip on our shoulder that we had during that summer, go into the season and the fall and work out, is the same approach that we're going forward here at UNLV. All of that experience as a player, combined with the experience of working here and coaching here over the past few years, I really think it's showing, if anything, the connection between UNLV and the city of Las Vegas. And that connection throughout time, throughout the tradition and the games and the coaches and the seasons and championships that have come throughout the years really hit home when you stay a part of the program and you follow it when you're young. And that's one of the things that definitely we want to do going forward. And it's really tie in and team up with the community. And we're really excited to be we're really excited to get alumni, players, students, and all that goes in that. Going forward, we definitely have a plan and vision to build on what we've done and put in the last 2 years, and by first and foremost graduating leaders. We want people that are proud of their degree from UNLV, and when they walk across that stage at the end, they have a pride to them and a smile. They can only count something they've been able to accomplish over 4 years. Again, we can't get into words outside of words. I'm excited about what we want to accomplish. I'm really excited that here, once we're done here, we're going to be as a staff, as a group, and turn our plan and attack and just keep going. But with that being said,
if you have a question, raise your hand.
We're good there.
Start with Ed Graney, Review Journal.
Hey, Kev, how are you? I was gonna ask you, whether it was Lon or Jack or teacher, whoever, did you come to a point where you knew you were ready? Does it come to a point like that? Do you have to do it before you know? Like, take me through like when you kind of realized this is what you wanted to do and you were ready to do this.
I think this is something I've always wanted to do. Growing up the son of a coach, the way I looked at my parents, my family growing up, I knew that by the example they had set, that being a college basketball coach was something that I always dreamed of doing. And playing first and as long as I could was the goal, and I really accomplished that and did that. Moving over to the coaching world, I think was a natural progression to stay part of the game. I think this is something I've always wanted to do. The way I look at it, one specific moment, something that I'm extremely confident and my experiences as your screens 6 years basketball combined with the 5 years in college, prepared for this and growing forward, I am confident that this is going to be done.
Love my time with their own obviously and TJ here the past 2 years. I'm not sure if there's one specific one.
Tyler Bischoff, ESPN Radio.
Hey, Kevin, I'm just curious, your priorities as far as keep on the current roster and what conversations you've had with them so far.
This is going to be a program that is about them. We want to make sure that they are happy, that they are comfortable, that everything that they can want to do, not only basketball but life, it's work with and they help along in that process. But just in terms of specifics, we're going to have discussions.
This is going to be a program we want to make sure that they are comfortable.
We're back for another question to Ed Graney.
Is that we're doing whatever we can to help them along the way in that process.
Kev, I didn't kind of hear the last one, but you were the first one really to take advantage of the transfer rule, and that was kind of a huge thing back then. And now you've got a portal with so many kids in it. Do you find it? Well, one, I'm sure you never thought it was going to be this big in the transfer portal, but do you kind of find that ironic that you'll probably now go into this portal to recruit guys, and you're the one who kind of started this?
Individually here coming up.
I'm not sure that's a compliment, but I mean the transfer portal is what it is today, and it's a huge part of the college game moving forward. And see that way, I think each year for the next couple years, we probably see records on the portal. But it is something that when somebody is transferring, you have first-hand experience of it, and what it's like, what can be experienced, and what can go through it. And especially in the city,
Thank you.
being able to dive is a great place to be, great place to play basketball. But it is unique. We appreciate that, and more people that want to be here, play basketball here, that we degree from here. But yeah, just in terms of football, I think it is something that it's a huge part of all basketball going forward. As already has been,
and what it's like, what's going to be.
A question from Chris Wynn.
Hi, Kevin. Congratulations. Just a couple of questions as far as your short-term goals for this program and for this roster, obviously, in the immediate future, and, of course, for the program moving forward.
And we appreciate that.
Everyone wants to be here, play basketball here. But we definitely want to continue to progress. And obviously that winning games. And you guys are ready.
Just end it. We'll come back. Look for Kevin Kruger's excited.
Elevate and raise the level of expectations that we have. Continue to get guys in here that want to be here, want to be relevant, want to get the NCAA tournament.
Hey there, everyone. Cassie Soto here, back with you. It appears that UNLV is having a bit of some audio technical difficulties, so we'll just explain to you sort of what's been going on here on our end. Sam Gordon is here with me. Sam, it seems like Kevin Kruger is ready to go and lead this UNLV program. He says he was basically born to be a head coach.
Well, and it makes sense, right, given that his father is who he is, had the success he's had. And, Kevin mentioned that he wanted to play as long as possible. He did that with a professional career in a number of countries, including stops in the G League. And then he started coaching, and he's been assistant coach for 5 years, and now he has an opportunity to be a head coach. He says something he always wants to do, and he's going to have his opportunity.
Yeah, well, I also want to mention the press conference opened up with DESIREE REED-FRANCOIS, athletic director at UNLV, and she said that they wanted to find somebody who believes in the culture of this town, who loves this university, loves this city. Kevin Kruger fits that to a T.
He certainly does. And again, not to harp on this, but he did take this program. He was the starting point guard on the team that's been to the Sweet 16, on the last UNLV basketball team to go to the Sweet 16. So he is basically a part of the last successful team that this college, that this university has had. And he knows what it takes to win here at UNLV. And granted, it's in a different role now, but if there's anybody who kind of understands that spirit out there among the candidates, it would be him.
I asked you this at the beginning of this stream, Sam. How much pressure do you think Kevin Kruger puts on himself that he's expecting to be successful at UNLV in the immediate future because of his last name alone?
Quite a bit. I mean, I think he's a competitor who wants to succeed. I mean, he is a former player. He's played at a high level. He wants this program to get back to prominence, to national relevance, not just prominence in the Mountain West, and that would be a good place to start, but prominence nationally. And he knows he has his work cut out for him. It's going to take a lot of work. The program hasn't been there in a while, but it seems like he's up for the task based on what we've heard in the limited, quiet audio that we heard in the press conference this morning.
Very quiet audio. Again, not us, all right? If you're commenting on the YouTube or whatever you're watching us on right now, UNLV was having some audio difficulties, but they will be sending us a clean recording. We will have that for you at reviewjournal.com, at Review Journal YouTube, and we will get that cut up for you so you can hear the best of the best from the new men's basketball head coach, Kevin Kruger. For Sam Gordon, I'm Cassie Soto. Again, head on over to lvrj.com for the clean recording of this new introductory press conference from Kevin Kruger. Thank you so much for watching.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.